Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So, sister, are you aware that you have the power to change your state? So what does that mean? Your state, your emotion, your mood, how you be. And so you know what this is like. Listen, music for me is a great way to change your state. I can be in the funkiest fucking mood. And I can listen to some jamming music, and it could be, I've got very eclectic taste in music. It can be anywhere from Stevie Wonder to Madonna to anything new, to Chainsmokers to Radiohead to Pearl Jam to grunge to some new shit, whatever. It's just something that I will, let me have some music, and it changes state. And I will use music too, by the way, with my kids. And so we'll play a lot of the movie soundtracks that kids love. Moana, Sing, Frozen, Greatest Showman. It is powerful knowing there are different tools that can change your state. Tony Robbins, who does NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, talks about this in his teachings as well too. And if you've ever seen Tony Robbins speak, he'll change his state, or he'll do a state change. You'll see him taking his hand and pounding his chest. It sounds kind of funny, I just mean one. He'll take one hand, flat hand, almost onto his heart, right? And it gets him into this state, right? It's almost like a ritual, right? You might know that some athletes that have certain superstitions. If a basketball player is at the free throw line, they bounce the ball so many times before they go and they take the shot, right? A batter might go up to the plate and they're gonna kind of swing the bat, practice swing, if you will, a couple times. They're gonna tap the bat on on home plate. They have rituals of how they do things to put them into that state. Put them in the state. I know for me, when I was training to actually fight, I'm just training to train now with my boxing after some numerous injuries, and I've decided that that's, listening to the universe, and that's not something that works for me any longer, but I still want to train. But I think about, even when I train, and certainly when I was sparring and training to fight, I would put myself into a state. And sometimes the state would be that I would imagine that the person that's across from me sparring is going to hurt my children. So I could channel this deeper, rah, right? To really go there and to have it where I'm just really acutely aware of everything that's happening around me. Change your state. You also have the ability to, if you wanted to keep yourself in a sad place. Right? Everybody's had a breakup at some point in their life and just want to listen to sad music because you want to sit in your shit. You want to sit in your misery. Quite honestly, I think it's a way of your body innately knowing that you have to get this stuff out. Right? The sad songs are just going to help you regurgitate that shit out of you. The tears, the sadness, the hurt, all of that, right? But change your state. Now, music is one example. But, for me, another big way to change my state is to move my body. It could be that I go walk my dogs, move my body, and then if I combine it with getting out into fresh air, even more so. If I am near the ocean, see the ocean, smell it, can be in the water, these are all ways for me that really change my state. But here's the kicker into all this, sister. In order for you to be able to change your state, you need to know who the fuck you are. That's the problem. That's the problem for you. That's the problem for a lot of women. That's the truth for a lot of people, period. They don't know. So they might do things that people say, and they might go, yeah, exercise because, endorphins and shit. Yeah. There is a physiological change in the body, no doubt. It's going to change your mood, right? But knowing who you are. See, if you are someone who, craves more of stillness and solitude, then you're going to want those things to change your state. You might need to have some meditation time. You're going to need to have some quiet reading as a way for you to kind of calm down. So at night, I have rituals that I do. After I get kids' lunches ready and I get essential oils already in my diffusers for the next day, and I've got coffee stuff out and my ketones, and there's a whole ritual, all these things. I take a shower before bed. I meditate for 5 minutes. I now started recently lying on what's called a sleep induction mat, which is like all these little acupressure points. I'm now also too doing something where I just read something that's really light, or I watch something that's funny. Like, I start to do these things that wind down my body at night for sleep, to change my state from maybe a lot of stuff going on or maybe stress to like, let me wind down and have my body ease into rest mode. Change your state. You gotta know who you are. Because if you are that person that really craves to have the solitude, the quiet times, then for somebody else, they might love to be, if you're more of an extroverted person like me, like I can fly both those sides. There are times that I crave stillness. It's something I'm feeling a lot in my life right now. Just like, I just want to spend time with myself. I want to be still. I want to hear my voice. But however, I can also be someone that like has a lot of fun being around a lot of people. Like the energy of that. I love big cities, like the energy of all the people, and people are walking, and like, I like that. And I can get a lot, I can change my state just from being in that energy, right? Here's the other thing to know. Again, you got to know who you are. And so understanding who I am has allowed me to go, what do I need in this moment? Stillness, or I need to be around other people? Or I need to connect in with somebody else? I've been going through a lot of stuff personally, and I reached out to our marriage therapist. Daniel said, hey, can I meet with you one-on-one? Like, is that possible? And I needed to just have a conversation with him and actually not be by myself. Because being by myself was just, I just kept going into stories and spinning them around, and I needed to have some feedback and be able to kind of get it out with someone who's not emotionally connected to me, but yet cares about me. I feel safe around. I can talk about these things with. And it was great, and it was exactly what I needed yesterday when I met with him. You gotta know who you are. Changing your state is powerful, right? It means that you take ownership now for your emotions. But that's the piece that some of you go, wait a second, but he made me feel, or she did this to me, or that person made me sad. No. There are things that can certainly, move you down that path, or let's just use the word trigger you to go into that state, but you still choose it. You still choose it. That's the same way that it's kind of like I can have, one of my boys go like, oh, you're a butthead, you're the worst mom ever, like something, right? Like what all kids do at times. And at least my kids do. And I can choose in that moment an emotion. I can choose anger, done that. I can choose curiosity. Is that an emotion? Curiosity? I can choose that state, curiosity, to be like, he doesn't really do that much at all anymore. I wonder what's going on with Tyson. I wonder why he's saying that right now. I wonder if perhaps, right, and I can choose compassion to go, man, Tyson had a rough day today at school. He's feeling like his brother's picking on him. Like, I just happen to be in his line of fire. I'm not going to take it personally. I'm going to let that just slide right off, right? You get to choose your emotions. But yes, again, that means that you got to take responsibility for you. You can no longer shirk the blame. Oh, she made me feel this way. No, you made you feel that way. You chose that fucking emotion. Heavy, you might think, to go like, oh, now I'd like, so people can do these things and they can affect me. No, of course they can affect you in certain ways. Of course. But you can choose where you're going to go with that, right? You can choose where you're going to go with it. Here's the beautiful piece of that, sister. I want you to hear this. When you really understand this concept, that you get to choose your emotions, your life becomes like a, you want to say the word plethora, like a smorgasbord. That's what I want. That's a better word. Smorgasbord. Like, you're kind of like, where do I want to be today? Like, how do I want to show up today? Maybe you're feeling sad. You're just like, you know what? I want to stay in this sad place. I need to get, just like, let's listen to those sad songs. Like, I just want to get this out. I feel like there's something for me to experience in this right now. I'm not going to stay here forever, but something for me to see. And so I feel like I got to stay here. Cool. I'm going to choose this. Awesome. the smorgasbord of emotions, which allows you to understand that you have absolute and utter control of your life and of yourself, more importantly. Now, are there things that are going to happen that are beyond your control? Of course. But you choose your emotion to it. You choose your response. Darwin had something going on. Adaptation, the ability to be able to adapt to your environment, to the people around you, to the things that have happened to you / for you, is the most important life skill you can ever possess. The most important life skill you can ever possess. So my oldest son, Tyson, we lost his coveted blankie. Do you have that with one of your kids where they have a blankie where they've had since they were a baby and like, it is blankie. Blankie used to go everywhere with Tyson. Now it's just usually at bed. Sometimes he brings it to school, tucks it in his backpack. He's 7.5 now. Like he just wants to like touch it, like put it against his face. Like there's something, it's comforting for him, right? It's a tool that he's had since he was an infant to change his state. How about that? Woo, full circle with that story. Bam. Blew that one out of the park. I didn't even know I was going to go there. But he uses it to change his state. He used to change his state. So what happened is that he left it on a ride at this fair that was across the street from our house in this park. And I thought he put it back at the house, but he didn't. So we went back, and he was actually with our babysitter, Scarlett, and I asked around, went to Lost Found, couldn't find it. We checked back each day, and it's like, it's gone. Somebody took it. By the way, I could choose the emotion right now, which could be like angry, like, what kind of motherfucker would take a child's blanket? Like, clearly, and like, like tattered, 7 years old, right? Since he was a little guy, because he's 7.5 now. So I could go there, right? And so what we've done is this, is Tyson, he's getting better about it. It's been how many nights? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 5 nights without blankie. He's never been a night without blankie at all. Like, at all. First couple nights it was like withdrawal, right? He's sad about it. He'll kind of be like, Mommy, I really miss blankie. I'm like, I know you do, buddy. So there's a couple things that I'm teaching Tyson. Again, adaptation, right? Number one is we can lose things and maybe we can still find them again or we can replace them and we can choose to be persistent. So, I've been very much in a state of being hopeful. And I was like, let me Google stuff. I put up a post on Facebook. I had some people that follow me on Facebook and some friends are like, hey, maybe you can go here. Because it's like a blankie that was made through it's a bookstore, / lifestyle brand, right? Which is called Chapters Indigo in Canada. It's a big brand. And they'll kind of like, they have a baby stuff, including these blankies. And they made these ones that are like a cotton bamboo. And they only made them for that year, and then they brought out a new one, right? So this would have been like 2011 that it was bought for him. He was born towards the end of 2010. And so, yeah, I can't go back in the store and get it again, but I'm like, let me see if I can find it, eBay, Amazon, whatever, right? So I think I found that it's one of those things where it's like hard to tell, is that the right one? It looks like it is, but I don't really know until we get it. I found this, a friend of mine sent a link from a store in Australia. I'm like, okay, I'm going to order it. Right? Persistence. But, so we chose a state of being hopeful, and to not give up, and to understand that sometimes we make mistakes, and don't be mad at yourself. Don't say you're an idiot, you made a mistake, buddy, it's okay, right? But I'm also very prepared to have the conversation with him about loss. Now you might go, look, it's just a blankie. He hasn't lost a human being in his life, right? I get that, but for him it's a big deal. And so I can choose that. I also too could have chose to be like, oh, I feel so sorry for him. I mean, there's a little teeny piece of that, and then I'm just like, no, I just really trust the process. It's going to go two ways. He's either going to see that his mommy's persistent to help him, right, and that we don't give up, or he's going to see that sometimes we lose things and we have to learn how to let them go, and maybe know that they were with us for a period of time, and then perhaps we just trust that that's all we needed them for, whether it was a blankie, a thing, it was a person in our life, relationships that end. So the ability to change your state is it's fucking magical, man. Again, if you can really own this, sister, then whatever comes your way, you're just kind of like, it's like having, like when you, if you go to paint your home and there's that whole kind of palette of paints, it's not like a little ring, you just kind of open it up, look at all the different shades of blues and greens and grays and all the colors maybe that you want to do, and you're like, think of your emotions in that same way. It's like, what am I going to choose right now? I'm going to have something happen. I'm going to have someone say something to me, and then I could react and just like, rah, right? Or I could pause for a moment and say, what do I need right now? Where do I want to be right now? Is my son going to like say something not okay, rude, disrespectful? Am I going to like immediately just respond and yell back, or that's not okay, or you just lost your iPad, or like, rah, right? I could choose that, or I could choose something different. And every single moment, whether it's with your children, with your husband, with clients, with family, with friends, we have these moments with strangers to react and to be explosive or sad or passive aggressive, and those kind of like just primal shoot from the hip emotions that you often regret later, by the way, because you're like, oh yeah, I kind of overreacted. I kind of like, or we could pause and we can understand that we get to choose our emotion. What am I going to choose in this moment? So here's your more tip for today then, sister. Here's your more tip. Identify for yourself what are 3 ways that you can change your state, okay? For me, it's absolutely music. It is absolutely movement. And what would be a third one? I think being around people, right? Having conversations, whether it could be a text conversation, it could be Facebook Messenger, it could be face-to-face, over the phone, a Voxer, like having a conversation with somebody. All those things change my state, right? Some of you too, it might be being in a place of gratitude. Like that really changes your state. Or like giving back to other people, right? It allows you not just to take your mind off your own shit, but it just sometimes allows you to see perspective, right? For me too, it's also being outside in fresh air and nature. It gives me a bigger picture of things. So identify what are 3 ways that you can change your state. And then have those in your toolbox, right? In your arsenal to just be like, man, if I don't like the state that I'm in right now, the emotion I'm experiencing, I can choose to change it. And I might not be able to just like snap my fingers and do it or change that new paint palette like their emotions, but I can choose it in a different way by knowing how to change my state. So sister, finishing up the podcast, number 1, I want you to subscribe if you do not already. That way you're going to get all episodes delivered into your inbox 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. So go to iTunes or Stitcher and make sure to subscribe to the podcast, and additionally, leave a 5-star review. I would love your help in helping me connect with other women that need to hear this message. So leave a 5-star review on iTunes and subscribe. Number 2, subscribe to the podcast. It's crazy. So many of you still don't. You're missing out. You're missing out on all the VIP access to 112 More and free stuff I'm going to send you as a result of that free training. So head over to drkarenosborn.com/action guide to sign up for your newsletter today. And then also make sure to join the sisterhood. Women who are like you. Like, this is a no-brainer. You get to try for free for the first 7 days that want some of the same things. And this is a powerful group coaching program led by me and with the accountability of other sisters around the world. So that's at drkarenosborn.com/sisterhood. And you can sign up for the first 7 days for free. So I will talk to you in the next episode, sister. A life of more is just one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborn.com/newsletter.